Good morning, everyone. Today we'll discuss about next topic that is construction of crystal. As in the last class, we discussed about the types of tools, that is progressive tool, simple tool, compound tool, and combination dice. Today we'll discuss about the how to construct these press tools. Okay, let's see. So first in this construction of press tool, it is there. We are having two sides. It is punch side and die side. Punch side is called as moving half, and die side is called as fixed half. Okay. So construction of press tool is very important, where the assembly of all the parts takes place, and they're made up of all the structural size of plates. Okay. Some comes in the form of standardization, and they are having using the standardized parts will have a reasonable cost. Okay, so you can see in the figure there is a bottom side of the fixed of the tool. It consists of all these parts like bottom plate, die block, stripper plate, guide plate, and guide supporting plates, guide pillars, and suitable part fasteners are there. Okay, so this part will be die side, the fixed half of the tool. So next moving half you can see here in the figure. Okay, so it consists of moving. It comes with the movable with the ram, press ram. It consisting of top plate, shank is there, punch plate is there, punch back plate is there, guide bush punches and suitable fasteners are going to be used here. You can see all these parts in this movable half. So next is a scrap strip. This is a very first step in designing the press tool, any press tool. The layout of the, it will be deciding the layout of material strip. How exactly we need to place the component in the strip. Thereby it is helping us to reduce the wastage and get the more out of products. So this will decide the layout of all the die block and punches, even the slipper plates. So die block, very first element on the fixed half. Okay. So the heart of the press tool, it depend on all these parameters: selection of proper material, good strip layout, and ensure proper wall thickness in the two shear apertures. And right heat treatment will be required for the satisfactory performance. Okay. And these parts factors influencing are piece part size, stock thickness, intricacy of piece part counters, type of tool, machinery is available for manufacturing a tool. These all parameters will influence on the design of the die block. A die block, usually you can see in the figure, it is there, it's a rectangular in shape. Okay, so it is having the counters or having the holes of product, okay, in the products. And other side we are having tapping holes, and we have been fastened to the die, and we are doing the reaming operations, fitting in the assemblies. Okay, it is made up of hardened tool steels. Okay, so next is a guide plate. As the name itself it is indicating, guide plate. So it is going to is also known as strip guides. Okay, it is also known as strip guides. uh, it is going to guide the strip advancement between one station to the another station, and it is usually of thin plate against which the operator is traveled through a die and holds the strip, and usually it is fed from right to left. And moreover, it note down one point here. It rests on the die block. Okay, it is having a resting on the die block, and we are having. You can see in the figure that the supporting plate. We are having in between these two. We are going to feed the strip. You can see in this figure also. We are going to, and they are made up of low carbon steels and OHNS and hardens to 45 to 48 HRC. The next is stripper plate. What you are having the stripper plate? It removes the material strip around the blanking and piercing punches. Okay, you can see here on this side, on either side, while performing the cutting operations, what happens whenever the punch is there, is a punch, and it penetrates into the sheet metal. Okay. So at that time, the sheet metal will be sticking around these punches. Okay. When the punch is moving out, it will takes along with the sheet metal. To stop this sheet metal at that place, okay, to remain in its own positions, okay, we are going to use the stripper plate. Okay. So that stripper plate will stop the movement of sheet along with the punch. You can see that as it is links to the tightly around the punch. So it should not go with the punch. Okay. At that time, we are going to use the stripper plate. It's very important. So last point you can see, as it does not allow the strip to go along with the punches. So it is called as stripper plate. And it has got another one function also. Okay. Channel milled on the bottom face of the stripper ensure that the stock strip is guided properly with the die profile. Okay. So this is a one thing. And we are having, it is made up of mild steel and even with the medium carbon steels. And even it is made up with the recommended with the low carbon steel or OHNS. There are two types of stripper plate. One is spring loaded and another one is solid stripper plate. You can see this spring loaded in compound dies. Next is bottom plate. It is also known as bottom bolster, base plate and die shoes. It is usually entire die unit is rigidly and accurately mounted on this plate, and usually these plates are having very thick in nature and made up of mild steel and cast iron. So this gives the cushioning effect and it absorbing all the loads and all the shocks from the machines. Next, coming to next is moving part, that is a punching unit. So as we all know, the punches, okay, they are the cutting elements, okay, which gives the whole size and shape on the component. And they are made up of high quality alloy steels, okay, like high carbon, high chromium steels, oil hardened, non-shrinking tool steel materials are there. And they're hardened up to 58 to 60 HRC. And normal length of these punches are 55, 60, 65, 70. They are the standard lengths of punches. Next, we are having blanking punch. Blanking, as you all know, blanking. Okay, it's a punch which removes the blank from the sheet metal. Okay. So the top of this blanking punch will be held in the punch plates. Next, as same piercing punch. Piercing punch is also used to pierce the holes in the product. Okay, usually they are round generally, but it may be oblong punch, it may be any other shape as per the profile. Okay, so it is that. The next is the pilots. Pilots will provide the cone-shaped heads which enters previously pierced holes in the strips. Okay, and here we are going to make the previously holes in the strip, and they are going to stop these holes. Next, we are going to see the punch plate or a punch holder. As the name indicating, this is a punch plate or punch holder. It means that it is holding all the punches accurately in this plate. So it should be thick enough so that it can hold all the punches shoulders, keep in a punches perpendicular. So either it may be fitted with a press fit will be there, or even we are going to use keys or dowels with the punches for prevention of rotation of the punches. So punches are held with the help of counter boring board holes on which the shoulders are going to be fitted, and we are going to use the screws and dowels also here. The next is punch back plate. The punch back plate is also known as truss plate. It's a plate mounted on the top of the punch hole. It is like acting like a support, okay, supporting to the punch plate. So it is made up of medium carbon steel and hardened to 45 to 48 HRC. The punch heads have direct contact with this plate. Okay. So it is made up of mild steel also. Punch plate is made up of a single piece and need a base. It is also made up of more than one single piece also. So next, after the punch back plate, we are at the top. We are having top plate. It is also called as a top bolster or die head. Okay. So all this punch unit is assembled to this with accurately with all the fasteners. Okay. So they are being rigidly and accurately held in this plate with all the screws and all these things. And this plate should be visually thick, okay, to hold all these pressures. And it is made up of mild steel and cast irons. And next is shank. Okay. The shank, you can see the threaded portion of that shank will be fitted in the top plate. Okay, where it is being clamped to the press ramp. Okay, the diameter that shank outer diameter or the head diameter of the shank will be matching with the diameter of the press ramp. Okay. Nowadays in the market we are having standardized parts, standardized shank to suit the different presses. Next is finger stops. As the name indicating it is a finger stop, it means that it stops the movement of strip plate. Okay, and usually it is used in the progressive dies, as the progressive dies is consisting of so many stations. To stop at every station, we need to stop this strip to carry out the operation. At this time, you are going to use finger stops. Next is stoppers. Stoppers also playing this same role. There are plain cylindrical pins and they are going to arrest the movement of strips. Okay, when it is fed forward to one pitch length. Okay, you can see here gradually wherever the pitch you are going to be maintained. At that time, you are going to use this stoppers also. And even we make these are making a stop position, whereas the registry position can be done with the help of the pilots, which locate the sheet metal at exact positions. Next is fasteners. As we all know, fasteners are screws. They're going to hold or clamp two elements in a positions. Okay. So it may be threaded fasteners and it may be non-threaded fasteners. You can see in the diagram how it is being fitted, assembled with the help of screws. One with the counter boring, we have been made a counter boring and then we place and all these types. Next is screws and dowels as we discussed. The screws, we are using Allen screws for this, for easy tightening and loosening of the parts. Okay. So dowels are also used here for the perfect alignment and absorbing the side pressures and the lateral thrust or the side forces. And they are easy to assemble and disassemble also, reassemble the tool elements. and they are precise in their accuracies, and they have a good surface finish. These are made up of alloy steels or case hardened steels of HRC of 58 HRC, and they are available in market with the standard size. They'll start from 1.5 mm to 20 mm diameter in various lengths, and they are made up of IT6 grades, okay, and are of finish ground well. Okay, hope you understood this concept of parts of construction of press tool, mainly consisting of all the plates of die unit and punch unit. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. If you are having any doubts, feel free to contact me and be ready for the quiz in the Q&A. Thank you one and all.